We're at the 2020 Motorsports Show with Dean Reynolds, director of the Super DIRTcar Series. First off, how's the show going for you?
It's going good, Ken, and thank you for helping out for the first 10 minutes this morning with us as we were stuck at Bob Evans. But no, it's going really well. It's good to get down here because it's the Super DIRTcar Series being in Bridgeport, so we're getting a lot of play off that, and with the Outlaws, coming to Pennsylvania and New Jersey as well, so we can answer some questions there. But it's always good to come down to the South, and even though our nucleus is up in New York State, to greet people and answer questions, and that's why we're here.
That's what I was going to talk to you about. Coming back to Bridgeport this year, is it important for the series to show a presence down here?
I think so now. I think we're ready. Last year we kind of wanted to build the nucleus back up and get some more cars following the tour before we spread our wings out and travel a lot. We had Eldora last year as well, but this year I felt that we were ready to come down south for at least a weekend, Orange County and Bridgeport. And then hopefully maybe next year we can do 2 weekends down here because we had 14 cars that did the whole series last year. And that was an increase from 5 cars from the year before. So I think we're ready. In Bridgeport, it's a big block track. And I think we need to showcase big blocks at the big block track. And Dougie's been in contact with us for a while. And by pairing it up with Middletown, it gives our upstate New York teams 2 paydays in one trip. So it works out well.
And it also works out well logistically. They're not just driving down to Bridgeport for one night and then driving all the way back. At least this way they can hit 2 tracks in a row.
And that's what we try to do with the tour. When we go to the Canada Swings, there's always 2 races. So when you want to go a far distance, you want to tie it in. Like last year, we tried to do Sharon on the way out to Eldora. Fortunately, it got rained out, but it helps with the travel.
So what's the series going forward in 2020? How's the series look, and how's the participation seem going to be?
Well, I think we got most of the teams back from last year. We might lose 1 or 2 from last year, but I think we're going to gain about 4 or 5. And so we're hoping maybe by the end of the year, maybe we'll have 15, 16 teams that did them all, because that's what you want with the series. When fans come on out, they want to know who's going to be there, and that's what's good about the Platinum teams. And we're going to start announcing those in the next couple of weeks. We're still tweaking the Platinum agreement to get that finalized, and then usually around February 1st we start getting signed the contracts, and I think the fans will be happy to see us following the tour.
Yeah, I'm sure they were. Now, Matt Shepard, he's been the dominant force in Super DIRT Series for the last 7-8 years. Does the series benefit from someone like Matt Williamson unseating him last year?
I think so. Matt Shepard probably doesn't think so,
well,
but
no, Matt doesn't.
Yeah. But no, it shows that a team out there can, with hard work and gel, like Matt did with Buzz Chu and everything else, to show that Matt Shepard is human. You watch Stewie and Matt, and everyone always talks about Stewie and Matt. But then when you look at Matt Williamson's year last year with him winning the Centennial and winning Super Dirt Week and now Super DIRTcar Series, now you want to look at him to see if he can do it again. So maybe he's up in that upper echelon. But it just shows that if you work hard and stay focused, it can be done. Now, Buzz Chu, yes, they have the resources. That does help, of course, but so do other teams. And it's always good to get a new name, and different winners. When Demetrius Drelos won that $10,000 to win show at Albany, everyone looked at that. Here's a driver, young talent, that's a rookie on the tour, won a Super DIRTcar Series race, and won it quite handily. So that was important. So you like to see different winners, yes.
Yeah, I think it's good for a series. I mean, Matt Shepard was no slouch. He finished second, obviously. And, you had your other stalwarts like, Billy Decker and Larry White. And Jimmy had an off year this year, but I expect him to have a better year this year.
Yeah, I think Jimmy's getting a little more focused this year. He's going to go to Florida. Because they switched to the McNells there towards the end of the year. So I think he wants to get more laps in. And I talked to Jimmy because I'm at Weedsport, and he's there a lot. And he said that win at the end of the year meant a lot because you don't want to go through a whole year without a win. And it's good to see him and Billy Decker get those wins down at Charlotte to just get that spark going again. But, yeah, Jimmy doesn't want to finish 6th in points. So, and I think, you're going to see a rejuvenated Jimmy Phelps. Not that he wasn't last year, but that's the beauty. I mean, they're all going to be gunning for the 2 mats, and that's the beauty of the series. And I think the fans are going to see some good racing.
How important is it for the series to have the Eastern States 200 back in the fold?
Well, I want to be selfish because I grew up in Middletown, so for me that's awesome. But to have another 200-lap race and be the final event going into Charlotte for the points, so a lot of things can happen right there. So it adds a new process to to the fold as far as trying to figure out to be the champion. And Eastern States has got so much tradition. Orange County has so much tradition. And what Chris Larson is doing in Orange County with the improvements, and that's their marquee event. We're honored that they chose us to help run it. We're honored that Brett Hearn chose us, and I think Brett's going to do great things there too.
Oh, I'm sure Brett will. Everything Brett seems to touch turns to gold. So I'm sure, and he works hard, so I'm sure he's going to make it run. Now, on the other side of the sport, you guys stirred up a little controversy a month or so ago with the banning of the 4-link. Does that seem to have settled down for you guys now?
Well, the response has been a lot more positive than negative. When something happens, you're only going to hear from the people that are affected. The people that are happy aren't going to really sit down and get on social media and say, I'm happy. But it's the right decision. It needed to be done. I know there was, it's ingenuity is a beautiful part in racing. And when you stop something that's ingenuity, it's tough. Like I said, it's a tough pill to swallow. But we have 1,000 cars under dirt car. And, yeah, the big block teams like Jimmy Phelps and Gibson and Mashup, they can afford to go 4-link easily. But what happens with everybody else? And we already still haven't even finished the transition from bars to coils. The big teams got the coils, but we still have, 80% of sportsman cars haven't even gotten to coils yet. Now you throw another suspension piece out there. And, there is a theory that, now what do? I bring a bar car, a coil car, and a 4-link car to an event? So it was a tough decision on some people, but the majority, thank you. You saved me a lot of money. Basically what we did is the car you have in the garage now is all ready to go racing. It takes a lot of R&D, takes a lot of time, there's a lot of cost. I talked to some people that do build 4-links, and if the 4-links work, it'll obsolete everything that we have. Do we want it to go there? So the best thing is just put a stop before it gets going. And, we feel it's the right decision. And, let's try to, if it helps keep the cost down a little bit, which some people say is an impossibility of racing, I don't think it is. But that's the steps, and and I think it's the right way to go.
Yeah, I can see your point too. I can see both sides' points. But I thought Matt on Facebook, eloquently said, hey, listen, yeah, can I do it? Sure, I can. But once everybody else does it, then something new is going to come around.
Well, yeah, I mean, like Matt said, and we talked about that before, saw the quote by Matt. Say the 4-link does catch on and become the suspension of choice. Well, in 3 years, everyone's going to have it. But the same guys are going to be fast. And then you had all these people spend all the money to switch over to 4-links to get faster because some people had it and they started dominating. But eventually, then everyone's going to have it, and you're right back in the same place. And then, like Matt said, you got a bunch of parts sitting on the ground in the garage that you can't use anymore because now you got a 4-link. So what did it accomplish? It just accomplished a bunch of teams spending money. Does it make a faster car? Maybe. But it's faster, better. You get a faster car. Faster cars don't necessarily make better racing. Faster cars are also tougher on other parts, tougher on motors. So there's a lot of other things you got to look at that could affect even more down the road. And, 4-links is great. Late model, we got a late model sitting right here. But do we want late model technology into these modifieds where they're already producing great racing? They already are hooked up in the corners nice now. Do we want to enhance that, which has the potential of cost and racing that's not as good of a product?
Well, yeah, I see everybody's point. And going forward, I guess we'll see what happens. But appreciate you taking the time to talk to me, and I wish you and the Super DIRTcar Series nothing but luck in 2020.
Kenny, it's always good to talk to you, and thank you for wishing me well after my Vikings lost. Always good to talk. And then,
at least your Vikings made the playoffs. My Cowboys didn't. So.
Well, the Vikings beating the Cowboys. I still got some people to owe me some beers over that game, but that was fun. So.